guys, today we will see about for loop in Python. The for loop is where you iterate over a sequence such as a list, tuple, dictionary or string or other object until you reach a last item in that object. The for loop allows you to do things like perform an operation against each item in the list. For example, you could print out each item, test each item against another value, add up each item in the list, etc. The for loop is similar to while loop in the sense that you can make your program run a set of instructions repeatedly. The difference is that the for loop iterates over a sequence rather than against a predefined condition. So we can see about for loop by a simple example. Let's say we have a list. We will name it to a list of numbers, so we will name our list numbers. So we have few numbers inside that list. So what we have, so let's simply apply the for loop. So we will type for I here is any variable. You can use any variable name which will indicate current value, current item for each iteration of loop. So we will use I for I in numbers. So that's the base simple syntax for using for loop. So we will simply print the value of I in each iteration of loop. So just test it out and we will see that it gives us 1 2 3 4 5 on each line, as we say to print simply value of I each time the loop execute. So we have 5 elements in that list and it will execute 5 times and iterates 5 times, and for each iteration it will print value of I. So first time the value of I is 1, second time 2, and so on. So we have created a list of numbers called numbers, and a for loop that iterates through each item in numbers. The I represents individual item in the list. This could be called anything. For example, we could have called it we can call it n, num, anything you want to name it. So for each iteration we simply print the current item to the script. So that's we have done in a basic for loop example. So next we will see about how we can use break statement to break our loop early. We have seen break statement while we have learning about while loop in our last video. So we can also use break statement in for loop as well. Let's say we want to break our loop as I value which is to 4. So when I is equal to 4, so we can say to break the loop. So you can see as I reaches to 4, after printing 4 it breaks the loop and it does not print last value 5. So we can change it to 2. So now what will it does, it will just print 1 2 and leave that 3 4 5 as it is and terminates the loop, as we have said to break the loop as I value which is to 2. So that's how we can use break statement inside for loop to break the loop early. Next thing we will learn about for loop is to use else part along with that loop. So Python lets you to add an else part to your loop. This is similar to use else with an if statement. It lets you to specify what to do when the loop has finished. We have also seen else part with while loop while we have learned about while loop in last video. So we can also use if statement else part with our for loop as well. So as loop finishes, so just remove that break part. So we will just add an else part. So we will just print a simple message that loop has been executed. So that we have just typed a simple message that what it will print a message when loops end. So after printing 5, After printing all these number 1 to 5, it give us message that loop has executed. Note that this will only be executed if that loop has been finished. So if we add a break statement, uh, if I is equal to, let's say, any condition, so we have said that when I comes equal to 2, just to break. So now you will see it does not execute else part will only be executed if that loop will be executed completely. So if we use break statement, that else part will not be executed. So this else part will only be executed if this loop will execute it till end of any object. So in our case we have a list, so in this case, if I is the value of I, we can say that for loop executed till last item in that list, this else part will execute, otherwise it will not if we break our loop by using break statement early. So this else part will not be executed. So similarly we can use to loop our dictionary. You can access the value in the manner we will see that also with an help of an example. So let's say we have any let's basic dictionary example. Let's say we have a dictionary name person. So inside that dictionary we have first key name, and let's give it value. After colon we will give a value John, and second key name age, and let's give it value 25. Similarly just add few other names and age also. So just change that key to name 2 and age to, sorry, as it is a string, so we have to sound it in double quotes. So alright, so we will just simply loop through that dictionary similar way we have done it with list. So we will simply write for P in person, and we will simply print the value of P. So it will give us name, age, so it basically give us uh, uh, keys for that list, oh sorry, dictionary. And if we print along with if we want to print also values for that key, we can simply print both keys and value by using let's say we have P, we have a dictionary name person, so we will use that dictionary name. We know how to access the value of dictionary, so in that dictionary name we will just pass a key. So each time it give P contains a dictionary, so when it execute it first print dictionary key, and then uh, and value that is related to that key. So now if we execute, we can see it prints name and its value. So name is key and John is value. Next we have age key, 25 value, and so on. That, so that's how we can use uh, for loop to iterate over each items in that any dictionary we want to. Today, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next upload. Bye bye.